I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's Ryan's Falcons going up against Roethlisberger's Steelers. And with that, we'll send you up to the North Shore of Pittsburgh at Heinz Field by the Three Rivers as we head it over to our broadcasting team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Pittsburgh Steelers. They come out with one back and three tight ends. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Here's Bell. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. In 12 regular season games this last year for Bell, averaging over 150 yards from scrimmage. First two games in the playoffs were great, but, you know, getting injured in the final game probably leaves a bad taste in his mouth.
Leaves a bad taste, gives him fuel for the next season, though, because, remember, for the last few years, he hasn't been able to play a full season for various reasons. Now, going into next year, imagine those numbers over a 16-game season and heading into the playoffs. Le'Veon Bell can set new records.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. On second down, Roethlisberger. This is Bell on the dump-off. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. This offense has some speed, and certainly Martavis Bryant, he has some speed.
He has that, and he has size. That's what makes him so difficult to cover, because just when you think you have to play him one way, the other attribute kicks in. Martavis Bryant could be an all-star real soon.
They only get two there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1, you know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
And the big tight end shifting around. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And here we go. We get to see the Falcons again on offense, a crew that last year scored 540 points, tied for 8th most all time. But my question is this, such a crushing Super Bowl loss in the offseason, does that set you back big time, or does that fuel and feed you momentum-wise going forward?
It should fuel and feed you momentum-wise going forward, partner. That's exactly how it's supposed to react, and that's what you'll see in the Falcons locker room in the entire offseason. They'll talk about finishing, unfinished business, things of that nature. But we have seen where teams have not recovered from it. Remember the Rams? They got to a Super Bowl, got beat by the Patriots, didn't get back there again. The Broncos in 2013, #1 offense, #1 scoring offense. They didn't get back in 2014, but they did in 2015. So you can recover from it.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
It's so important to establish the running game early in a contest because when you do that, that just opens your playbook so big for your offensive coordinator. And to be frank about it, they like calling pass plays better than they like calling running plays. And with the way that they're running it right now, that's going to open things up to do whatever they want through the air as this game goes on.
They'll run it with Bell. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And the back goes into motion. Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. He's got time in the pocket. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Antonio Brown, 29 yards. And the Steelers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's the offense, and we talk about the tight end, Jacob Tammett.
A lot of people thought of him as simply a safety valve receiver. He can be a primary receiver. Jacob Tammett shows better athleticism than what people expect.
Sanu, the man in motion left. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gordon, it's the Falcons. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle.
And when you watch Devontae Freeman run the football, you can almost close your eyes and hear him running the football, can't you? Because people just scatter. I mean, you know, when he goes through a pile, it moves in a positive direction for him. I just love how hard he plays the game.
1,000-yard season. He had 11 touchdowns last year. In March, 25 years old. So he's kind of hitting that sweet spot for a running back, isn't it?
He really is. And I still remember the evaluation of him coming out of college. He does everything well, but you weren't sure he had a dominant trait. Well, wrong about that. He's dominant just about everything he does, and I think that he's going to continue to elevate his game and seek a 3rd Pro Bowl in 2017.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They'll try and throw for it with Ryan. It's caught. Jones. Give him 25 yards on the play there. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down.
I know that's their first connection in this game, but you and I both know that Julio Jones is without a doubt his quarterback's favorite target.
Oh, yeah, Matt Ryan loves this guy, and who wouldn't?
Yeah, and the reason that he's that is because of his dependability. And quarterbacks have to have that from their receivers, meaning they know where they're going to be when they're running certain routes. They don't break them on them. They don't change them up and do their own freelance stuff and put their quarterbacks in bad situations. Matt Ryan has ultimate trust in Julio Jones. Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And the tight end goes in motion left. They'll run it now out of the gun. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. And for Coleman, if you combine the rushing and receiving yards, close to 1,000 last year. He had 8 touchdowns as well, and was just really a great 1-2 combo with Devontae Freeman.
An outstanding one, and just think, if he's on just about any other NFL team, he's probably the lead running back. And Devontae Freeman gets the bulk of the carries, but Coleman, when he does get his hands on the football, he really produces a big way, speaking of the numbers you just gave.
Second down, 9 yards to go. Sanu, the man in motion left. Now Ryan. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up a third down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the kick for the 41-year-old is up and good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. CD, wanted to get your thoughts just on the landscape of the offseason for each of these teams. Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, but so much going on. People look at the draft a lot, but there's a lot more that goes into the offseason for these front offices, is there not?
It certainly is, and then even before we get to the draft, you start with the combine. You know, that's held in Indianapolis every year, and you have about 350 of the top prospects coming together to get their physicals and interviews and on-field performance, and all that will get evaluated along with their game tape. And then you've got the free agents. All right, that starts, I believe, in early March, where now the free agents can start moving around to different teams. So your team's starting to take a little bit of shape there, free agency, because then the draft's coming up. You're trying to put your team together with new draft picks, have everyone start to move in one direction. And then you have the OTAs and mini camps. We get to see them on the field for the first time. And we start to get a better idea of how these teams are going to look when the fall begins.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. He's going to go up top again. That's caught at the 25. A big play there just before halftime. 43 yards. And now a first down following that long gain. The wide receiver moving to a new spot. They go play action here on 1st down, eluding the pressure right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant through an opening, and there he goes. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And this one complete to Marcus Wheaton. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Green, the tight end, in motion. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. That'll bring up second down. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly, hey, you. Yeah, you. John, why'd you skip Larry's halftime? I'm just kidding. I don't know who you are. But if you're John, I bet you're pretty freaked out for a second. All right, let's get to the 3rd quarter. And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Sanu, the man in motion, left. On 2nd down, Freeman. Only a couple there, as he'll be brought down about the 28. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First-level defensive line, second-level linebackers, third-level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
On 3rd down, Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. With it is Brown. Terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. They were able to get the stop defensively, and now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger.
And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. He's got time, and he's got Rodgers. 23 yards on the play. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
This is Bell on the dump off. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell from 21 yards away. And the Steelers are going to retake the lead. And his kick is good. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Dancing to his left. And I think the ball's out. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Following the fumble recovery, it's got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Xavier Grimble, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop. Second down following the run.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Back now in Pittsburgh. Shift together here from the D-line. Now, and intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. From from midfield now. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now Ryan on second down. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. It looked like he might have had a window there, but the rhythm was just a little bit off.
It certainly was, because everything that has to come together to get a pass completed, yeah, you're right. The sync just wasn't there.
Ryan. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now Ryan. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And he goes in motion here in the backfield. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. A pickup there of 36. And the Steelers are going to have a first and goal.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have it.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.